Welcome back to the channel Coins Collector everyone to another exciting video on our channel where we talk about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the incredible stories behind the money we use every single day. Today's episode is something truly special, because we're diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in modern American history, the 1996 Liberty Quarter Dollar. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that most people overlook, a simple quarter that you might have in your pocket or piggy bank right now, could actually be worth a staggering $335,000 on the collector's market. That's right, a single 25-cent coin from 1996, minted in Denver, has turned into a small fortune for those lucky enough to find one in pristine condition or with rare minting errors. So, grab your coin jars, pull out those old collections, and get ready, because today we're going to uncover the fascinating history, the value, the rare features, and the unbelievable stories behind the 1996 Liberty Quarter. This is one of those coins that truly proves you never know what kind of treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Now before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss another video about rare coins, coin values, and everything related to numismatics. We bring you new discoveries, collector tips, and updates on the coin market every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Alright, let's jump straight into it. The 1996 Liberty Quarter Dollar is part of the Washington Quarter series, one of the most iconic and longest-running coin designs in United States history. This particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the coin's obverse side. While millions of quarters were minted that year, not all of them are created equal, and that's what makes this story so exciting. Let's talk a bit about the background. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty Quarter, and since then, the design featuring George Washington's profile has become one of the most recognizable images on American currency. By 1996, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for over 60 years, and it was one of the final years before the U.S. Mint launched the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999. That means that quarters from the mid-1990s hold a special place in history. They represent the last generation of the classic Washington design before the state quarters took over and changed everything about the way people looked at these coins. And within that group, the 1996 quarter stands out as one of the most valuable and sought after by collectors today. Now, let's talk about why this particular coin is worth so much money. The majority of 1996 quarters are worth only face value, 25 cents, unless they're in uncirculated or proof condition. But there are a few extremely rare examples that feature unique minting errors or perfect preservation that make them unbelievably valuable. Some of these coins have fetched prices well over $10,000, $50,000, and in one famous case, up to $335,000 at auction. So what makes a 1996 Liberty Quarter worth that kind of money? The key lies in a combination of minting quality, rarity, and condition. Collectors and grading experts look for several things. First, if a coin was struck using a rare die variety or has a visible minting error such as a double die obverse, off-center strike, or missing clad layer, its value can skyrocket. Second, the condition of the coin, measured on the Sheldon grading scale from 1 to 70, determines just how pristine and desirable it is. A mint state 67 or 68 grade coin can command unbelievable prices, especially when it comes from a year like 1996. Another important detail is that 1996 marked the 25th anniversary of the Eisenhower dollar and the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime, so collectors were already paying close attention to U.S. coinage that year. Some limited proof sets and special mint sets were produced, and certain examples of the 1996 quarter included in these sets have been found with exceptional luster and sharp strikes, making them standout pieces in any collection. What's even more interesting is that some of these quarters were struck on experimental planchets. That means they were accidentally minted on a blank intended for another denomination or made with an unusual metal composition. These are the kinds of minting accidents that make coin collectors go crazy, because they're one of a kind and often impossible to replicate. When a coin like that shows up in the market, it's no surprise that the bids go through the roof. Imagine finding one of these rare quarters in your pocket change. The thought of turning 25 cents into $335,000 is almost unbelievable, yet it's happened before. Now let's take a look at what the current market says about the 1996 D Liberty Quarter. As of this year, the coin collecting community continues to show strong demand for high-grade Washington quarters, especially those from the 1990s in mint state condition. Auctions on major platforms have seen prices rise steadily over the past few years, as collectors focus on completing their sets or hunting for error coins that slip through quality control. According to several major coin grading companies and recent auction results, a 1996 D quarter in average circulated condition might only bring a few cents over face value. However, if the coin is certified as MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, its value can easily climb into the thousands. A handful of coins graded MS68 have been known to sell for over $3,000 to $5,000, and the legendary error rarity that made headlines with its $335,000 valuation remains one of the most expensive quarters ever sold in modern times. It's important to remember that condition and authenticity are everything in the coin world. If you think you might have a valuable 1996 D Liberty quarter, the best thing you can do is handle it carefully, avoid cleaning it, and have it graded by a professional coin grading service. Cleaning a coin can actually destroy its collector value, so leave it as it is, even if it looks a little dull. Once it's graded, you'll have a clear idea of its true market value. Collectors love the story behind this coin not only because of its monetary worth but also because of what it represents, a moment in American coinage history just before a major design transformation. It symbolizes the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, and that's part of what makes it so fascinating. So the next time you get some change back from the store, or you're rolling coins for the bank, take a close look at your quarters. Look for that 1996 date, and especially that little D mint mark for Denver. You never know, you might be holding a piece of American history worth more than a luxury car or even a house. Before we wrap up, remember that rare coins continue to increase in value as collectors' interest grows and fewer pristine examples remain in circulation. The 1996 D Liberty Quarter is proof that treasures still exist in everyday life, just waiting to be discovered by those who know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you'd like us to feature another specific coin in an upcoming video. Thank you for joining us today, and as always, keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, the next big discovery might be in your hands right now. Today, we're talking about one of the most fascinating modern coins ever released by the United States Mint, the 2004 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but has an incredible story, a rich history, and in some rare cases, a staggering market value reaching as high as $55,000. Now imagine for a moment that you're digging through your old coin jar, checking the change from your wallet, or maybe flipping through that old coin album you had as a kid. Suddenly you notice a 2004 quarter. It looks just like any other coin, with the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse side and a design that represents one of the 50 states or territories. You might think it's just worth 25 cents. But what if I told you that depending on the mint mark, the condition, and a few very specific details, that coin could actually be worth more than a brand new car or even a down payment on a house? That's right. Some 2004 quarters have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, and collectors are always on the lookout for these rare pieces. Before we get into what makes this coin so valuable, let's take a step back and explore the background and the history of the quarter dollar itself. The United States quarter has been in circulation since the late 1700s, but its modern design and variations have evolved significantly through the years. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the legendary 50-state quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs in American history. It ran from 1999 to 2008 and honored each of the 50 states with its own reverse design. Every year, 5 new state quarters were released in the order that the states joined the Union. These coins quickly became collector favorites, sparking interest across the nation and introducing millions of Americans to the hobby of numismatics. By 2004, the program was already in full swing, and the Mint released a new set of state quarters for that year, representing Michigan, Florida, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Each design showcased something unique about the state's culture, geography, or history. The designs were detailed and beautifully crafted, but one of them would go on to become a legend among collectors. That coin was the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. While millions of these coins were minted and circulated, a small number contained a mysterious and valuable error that would later make them some of the most sought-after modern quarters ever made. Let's talk about the details of that Wisconsin quarter. On the reverse side, you'll see a design featuring a cow, a wheel of cheese, and an ear of corn, all symbolizing Wisconsin's rich dairy and agricultural heritage. However, collectors later discovered something unusual about the corn. Some of these coins showed an extra leaf near the corn's left side. This variation came in two forms, known as the high leaf and the low leaf varieties. These small differences were not part of the original design and were likely the result of accidental die modifications during the minting process. Whatever the cause, these variations turned an ordinary 25-cent coin into a numismatic treasure. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The high leaf and low leaf Wisconsin quarters were minted at the Denver Mint, which is marked by the small D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, right next to Washington's ponytail. Not all Denver coins have this error, which makes them incredibly rare. As soon as collectors discovered these differences, the market value for these coins skyrocketed. At first, people were selling them for a few $100s, then thousands, and eventually, at major coin auctions, pristine examples graded by professional grading services reached prices as high as $55,000 for top-quality specimens. Think about that for a moment. A coin you could have spent on a pack of gum or a cup of coffee might actually be worth enough to pay off debts or buy a new vehicle. That's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes it's not about the gold or silver content but about the rarity, the story, and the history behind the coin. The 2004 Liberty Quarter Dollar, particularly the Wisconsin high leaf and low leaf errors, captures all those elements in one small piece of metal. Now let's talk about what makes a coin valuable. There are a few key factors that every collector and coin enthusiast should understand. The first one is rarity. The fewer examples of a certain type or error coin that exist, the higher its potential value. The second factor is condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect uncirculated coin. A high-grade example of the 2004 error quarter could easily fetch thousands more than one that's been in circulation. The third factor is demand. When collectors are eager to complete their sets or own a unique piece of minting history, prices tend to soar. The Wisconsin quarter checks all these boxes. Now, let's talk about the present market value. Even after all these years, the 2004 high leaf and low leaf Wisconsin quarters remain in high demand. While not every coin sells for $55,000, the rarest and best preserved examples still command impressive prices at auctions and private sales. Coins in average circulated condition can sell for anywhere from several hundred to a few $1,000s depending on the grade, while those that have been professionally certified as mint state can reach astonishing prices. If you happen to find one in your pocket change or in an old coin roll, you could be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. It's also important to mention that not every 2004 quarter is rare. The Philadelphia Mint and other standard Denver issues without the leaf variations are worth face value unless they're in near-perfect uncirculated condition, which might bring a small premium to collectors. The key is to look closely at the corn design on the Wisconsin quarter. If you notice that extra leaf, then you might just have struck gold in the world of coins. Many collectors today are still searching for these rare varieties, and they continue to appear in coin rolls, estate collections, and old change jars. It's a reminder that treasures can still be found in everyday life. You don't have to dig through ancient hoards or buy expensive gold coins. Sometimes the most valuable pieces are right under your nose, hidden in plain sight, waiting for a careful eye to spot them. The story of the 2004 Liberty Quarter Dollar is also a great example of how coin collecting connects people to history. Every coin tells a story, of the time it was made, the people who designed it, and the economy and events of the era. When you hold that quarter in your hand, you're holding a small piece of American art, history, and culture. It's not just metal, it's memory. It's the craftsmanship of the US Mint and the legacy of millions of collectors who appreciate the beauty of these coins. So if you've got a few quarters lying around, take a moment to look at them closely. You never know what you might find. Check the year, check the mint mark, and most importantly, if you have a 2004 Wisconsin quarter, look for that extra leaf near the corn. It could be the high leaf or the low leaf variety, and that tiny detail could turn an ordinary coin into a small fortune. As always, I encourage you to research your coins, use a magnifying glass or a coin loop for a better look, and consider getting valuable finds graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. This not only confirms authenticity but can also increase your coin's value significantly when selling to serious collectors. Thank you so much for joining me today and learning about the 2004 Liberty Quarter Dollar, one of the most exciting modern rarities in US coin history. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more coin stories, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on hidden treasures, rare coins, and valuable finds that could be sitting in your pocket right now. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin search bring you that incredible $55,000 surprise.